I've spent the last few weeks at professional events where AI was the only thing anyone wanted to talk about. It was in every keynote, every side conversation, and every joke shared over coffee. When we encounter a tool this powerful, our first instinct is to use it to eliminate friction. We want to remove uncertainty and smooth out the edges of our work. We instinctively use technology to optimize. We look for the rough spots in how we communicate or share ideas and apply a mechanical grinding to make them perfectly smooth. But I've started to wonder if not all friction is bad friction. If we optimize everything, do we risk losing the parts of ourselves that actually create value? Two recent experiences highlight this tension. Both involved professionals using AI to prepare, but one felt like an intellectual discovery, while the other felt strangely off. Looking at the difference between those two rooms explains why some tech-assisted interactions feel hollow and others feel like magic. It comes down to whether AI is being used to amplify human intelligence or quietly compress it. The first event was a panel featuring a group of bright, experienced professionals. I joined the session with a lot of anticipation, expecting to hear a real exchange between people with deep expertise. The execution was polished. The moderator read perfectly formulated questions, and the panelists responded with impeccable sentences. Even with English as a second language for everyone on stage, the phrasing was flawless. Yet, the discussion felt flat. Despite the high level of expertise in the room, the interaction itself didn't seem to lead anywhere. There were no unexpected turns, no spark of curiosity, no tension between ideas. The conversation wasn't discovering anything in real time. At the end, the moderator read insights that had clearly been prepared in advance, polished with AI, and printed onto speaking cards. By prioritizing perfect expression over spontaneous exchange, the session sacrificed the human process through which ideas actually evolve. The AI didn't support the experts, it compressed them into a pre-written script. Later, I saw a completely different situation. I watched a room full of serious professionals suddenly break out of conference mode and transform their environment. People moved their chairs aside to create space. Within minutes, the entire room was singing, dancing, and clapping. The catalyst was Jurgis Dejulis, a speaker and musician who focuses on using music to drive human connection. He was out in the crowd, responding to the energy in the room and improvising in the moment. This experience relied on significant preparation. Technology likely helped design the flow and reduce logistical friction behind the scenes. But the technical script stayed in the background. It provided a foundation that allowed human instinct and real-time improvisation to take the lead. This event felt alive because the technology was used to amplify natural talent and connection rather than overwrite the person. Comparing these two events shows that success depends on the intent behind the tools. In the first case, the tech was asked to handle the expression. In the second, it was asked to handle the design. This highlights a behavioral truth. Unpredictability creates meaning. When we use AI to remove every rough edge, we often remove the spontaneity that creates value. Based on these two extremes, I found a specific ratio that keeps the human element in the lead. I think of it as a 90-10 split. The 10% is the structural foundation. This is where we let AI handle editorial refinement, stress testing, and organizing the framework. The remaining 90% stays with the person. This is the space for observation, behavioral interpretation, and the meaning we draw from our experiences. As we integrate these tools, we have to choose our direction. We can use them to polish ourselves into sterile perfection, or we can use them to strengthen the human traits we cannot afford to lose.